Okay, here's one from the crew, yours truly. My I Meant to Tell You story is about not only a good friend, but somebody who was a big player and played a big part in the career path that I ended up following and giving me the opportunity. And I had conversations later on thanking him for it, but I don't think I genuinely had that last chance to tell him just how important his investment in me is. A little backstory. Teddy Bear, that was his name, B-A-E-R. He was a disc jockey for a very long time in various radio stations, I should say, around the country. And I worked for a small private weather service forecasting company called CompuWeather. And one of the stations that we would forecast the weather for was called WENE. They were out of Endicott, New York. They served the Binghamton, New York market. I was working the afternoon drive, and every afternoon at about 4:20, we would do a live phone. And it started out pretty straightforward with Ted. He was on the other end. He was the DJ in the afternoon drive there. We would just have these conversations. They would first start off air, and then would carry over to on air. So we would tell jokes and just talk about life in general and stories, and it was just a great connection that I had with him. And he was considerably older than me. I don't know if quite 20 years, but almost. He was the guy who taught me how to drink straight vodka, however. He always had these chilled glasses in his freezer and just straight up vodka, which at first I was like, I can't do this. But lo and behold, I found a way. But the story quickly behind what he did for me was after the radio, he loved to fix watches, clocks, and old antique clocks, and he would sell these beautiful grandfather clocks. And he had moved back to Pennsylvania, a town called Emmaus, Pennsylvania. At that point, I went and visited Ted periodically, and it turned out one of his biggest clients was the general manager of a station in Allentown, WFNZ, channel 69. And it was a Christian station. But nonetheless, they had these newscasts, and Ted was pushing hard for me to get the opportunity to do the weather there. What I did get the opportunity to do, which back then was very difficult, I was able to get through the doors of WFMZ and rile off about 4 or 5 takes of a weathercast with some very primitive graphics, but I walked away with a tape. And Ted said, well, if this doesn't work, you're going to get something else. I know it, Chrissy. He was one of the only people I let get away with calling me Chrissy. There's only 2 other people besides him. One was my Nana. And something that I don't think I ever really told him how important that was, that he believed in me. Through the years, we remained friends, and my career went to where it went. And one other occasion of something that was very, very special to me has nothing to do with broadcasting, but it involved Ted. I was out in Cincinnati, Ohio, working for the NBC station, WLWT. Ted had remarried. He was now out in Danville, Illinois. And my second child, Carly, was born, and my wife was dealing with a very, very difficult postpartum depression. I had gone to Cincinnati under the premise I was going to be the morning and noon guy, and then I was going to become the main guy, the evening guy. However, a consulting company came in, the news director made the promises, went out. The consulting company said, no, Cimino's too cosmopolitan for Cincinnati, so all the promises went down the drain. Coincided with my wife having postpartum depression, moving back for a time with her sister in Pennsylvania. So my family was gone. My dream of becoming the main weather guy at this NBC station in Cincinnati was gone, and I was by myself. And I called Ted, and he was in Danville, which is about a good 3.5 hour drive. And I called him and just was explaining to him what was going on. And he said, Chrissy, stop. We'll be there this weekend. He had just had a newborn baby, late in life to be a dad again. And I'll never forget that he came with his wife and his newborn to spend the weekend with me, to see how I was, to take care of me, to check on me. That I'll never forget. Launching the career was great. But I don't think I ever told you how important that was. I was on the brink of throwing everything away because every dream is falling apart, from my marriage, my family, and my job. And here I was by myself out in Cincinnati. And thank you, Ted. That meant the world to me. You will forever be in my heart. You will forever be remembered anytime something in my career happens, because you were a big part in that. But more importantly, you taught me how to be a good friend and a genuine, sound, solid human being. And thank you so much also for all of the laughs you gave me over the years.